Situated in one of Cape Town's most tranquil suburbs for more than 90 years, Highlands House has been dedicated to providing their residents with their physical, emotional and spiritual care. Ask anyone who has ever visited Highlands House and they will tell you it's so much more than just a care centre for the elderly. It's a home.
My dad started at Highlands House, which was then the Cape Jewish Aged Home, in Harpe Street in about 1937, shortly before I was born. When the Aged Home opened here in Highlands, I was about 9 years old. My brother was about 2. Interestingly for me, I've come full circle, because the 4 rooms below the 4 rooms here were the 4 rooms allocated to us as a family. And I am now living directly over the room that my brother and I shared as children, which is really quite strange, but it's also nice in a way.
People have many perceptions around what Highlands House really is. We mustn't get away from the fact that Highlands House is essentially an old age home, but an old age home with a difference. It's a place where people come to live and not to die. We have enough activities, we have enough to do that those coming into the home never need to be bored, never need to want for anything in terms of entertainment.
Each day we have various activities and we always start off with exercise. So some activities are standard and others are very different. So it would be, for example, we get entertainers in to have concerts, and we'd also have various interesting talks as well.
They have colouring in on a Tuesday normally, which I like very much. I think the colouring in is one of my favourites. And they always have a movie first, and entertainment and lots of things we can't grumble.
I think what one needs to always be conscious of, the home also has a policy of not forcing people to do things. We certainly encourage people to participate in whatever we do. It does lead to a happier resident if they are occupied most of the time.
I love painting, and I've got 2 people that I'm teaching to paint. One of them is got a bit of Parkinson's disease and he trembles like mad. He used to sit around all day long just watching TV or sleeping, maybe going for a walk, and that's it. That was his whole day. Now he's got something to look forward to. He comes and paints. You know, when you're old and you've got nothing to do, you become grumpy, you become morbid and all kinds of things because your mind is not occupied and you're not occupied. And this is what keeps me going. And I love it.
Well, the clients are all the residents, and there's no appointments set out. It's first come, first serve. Sometimes residents come in, they're a bit low and not so happy, but once their hair's done and you put some lipstick on them, they feel completely different. It's really a wonderful, wonderful service that they have here.
The residents, when they come in, we talk to them kind of like an interview, speak to them, find out what they're able to do, what they're not able to do, and where the caregiver would fit in as in the assistance they would need. Some of the residents, mainly on my side, are totally independent, but then we do have residents, frailer residents, who perhaps need help with showering, being showered or have a bed bath. All those things the carers are trained to assist them in such a way that they are able to maintain dignity but still be assisted in those bodily functions.
I was very sceptical about coming here. My husband was very ill. I'd been looking after him for about 7 years and couldn't cope anymore. And I must say, we settled in very quickly. I was so pleasantly surprised at how easily we settled in. It was welcoming. The people were friendly. They looked after him very well, and I couldn't have wished for better.
Occupational therapy within Highlands House is quite a varied service. So we as OTs are involved in so many different projects. I feel it's important for all of our residents. We help with overcoming daily challenges in almost everyone's lives. In that sense, we're promoting independence and well-being and a sense of achievement by having them do things for themselves.
One thing also that makes us apart from many other homes is that this is a Jewish home. We celebrate every Chag. Shabbat is celebrated, and there is, in the evenings, a daily minyan in our beautiful synagogue. The synagogue is manned by volunteers on the Chagim and on Shabbatot, but the residents in the main run the services during their week on their own.
I look after the shul, I clean all the Torahs and I make sure that there's a minyan every day. And I also teach a guy to fill in. He likes to fill in every morning with me at 6:30. And whatever I can do, I do for everybody.
One Shabbat a month, my father came to shul here. We also had one Friday night a month. We had supper with the residents. That was something that my father insisted on. I think the residents appreciated it. I know my brother and I didn't like it. We sang the Manishtana, and we would much rather have been at home, but that's the way it was, and it was probably the right way.
We are not a very large complement of staff, but the residents knows us by name, and so you are part of their family, which they start their day. God forbid if I'm not at my desk, it's noticed and I'm asked.
I actually get to build relationships with them, which is great, because I see them on a daily basis as well. And I think that's why work for me is so enjoyable, because it's not just about the events and planning, but also building relationships with them.
I think it's very important for them still to feel valued and treasured, because while they may not be able to work anymore, they still have keen minds, they still have a lot of humor in them, and they still have great stories to share with us. And I think the residents and the staff appreciate that they're able to share that. So to me, the dignity is vital, to maintain it as long as we can.
In terms of Derech Eretz, I think the basis of Highlands House is respect for the individual, respecting where they've come from and where they're going to, respecting the way they practice or live their lives. There is no right or wrong answer to Derech Eretz. It is something that is interpreted by everyone in their own way, and we, as the people or the custodians of our elderly, need to respect that to the nth degree.